Okay, so before I turn in for the night, I wanted to do a video for patrons. Um, I have got all the Adidas jerseys here, minus the white Vegas, which is getting a patch on it. I've got Reeboks here,
Why are you throwing your hangers?
and I've got like four. One. This one's two, three, and then I've got the San Jose, the other San Jose. So I've got four authentics of Adidas to go with. I think it's 28. Yeah, 28 of the Adidas that I have as well. And you know that there's a point that I feel like I'm at right now where it gets harder and harder for me to get this collection all onto the rack, and yet it is something that's unique. And at the same time, I'm kind of torn. Like, okay, I do the unboxing video today, and I'm glad I did it because any advertising I can give Ben and you know for what he does is worth it. There are certain sellers you're going to find on eBay that are big companies. Retro 2 Heritage is clearly a decent sized company. I Full Moon Jerseys to me feels like it's kind of small, and yet when you look at the amount of listings they got up at a time, and all those auctions and whatnot, and then how quickly they ship, I would think that it's more than a one or two person operation. So I have no problem supporting a Canadian seller, but at the same time, I'm torn, and I haven't done jersey opening videos very much lately. And I looked at some of the comments to my jersey opening video today, and it reminded me why. Because the perception then becomes, wow, this guy makes a ton of money doing this, and you know, there's an underlying feeling of, well, he doesn't really need our support. That's not something I need to be out there. Because again, we're not in a position right now financially where we're clearly in our ideal, because I'm still stuck in the living room. And we were talking about it today, and you know, there's times where I dream about us living in a big house, and ideally it'd be a basement or a garage that I would have set up for my studio. Acoustically, either would be better than almost any room in a house. And to have it set up where I've got all the hockey stuff on one side of the room, and then my Funko Pops and all of my other stuff on the other side. I know for the Entertainment Guy page, there are people who want me to do Funko Pop videos where I go through my favorites, which ones are in my collection, and there's a lot. I don't collect them now as much as I did, but I collected them enough 3 years ago that I have a large number of those as well. So it would be nice to have a Hockey Guy side to the room, and then just be able to take this stand, flip it around, and then I can do videos for the Entertainment Guy. It's tricky, bless you, because as the channel grows, you know, yeah, I have the opportunity to make these purchases, and at the same time I have to. There's a lot of other things that go on, but I always make sure that with the money for a rent, that all of the bills are paid. In fact, I try to get ahead. I have an old system where I just try to get ahead. Just pay every bill by an extra 25, 50 bucks in a month. And then eventually you're like, hey, look, I got a free month, and then keep doing it. So that if something happens and you end up in a bad financial spot, you're like, oh, I've got a month where I don't need to worry about that. At least not as much. So when I make purchases like this, it's always after that. And I don't really buy anything else for myself. I mean, there's hockey cards, but the hockey cards too, that's with videos in mind. And that's, of course, jerseys as well. That's with videos in mind. So I'm really thinking about the unboxing videos, moving them back to Patreon. Minus the unboxing from Ben, because I think that can only be good for him. And the funny thing is, when I see people say, and I saw one comment today about how expensive jerseys are on his page. You're getting a brand new jersey. It's cheaper than you get through like lids. With lids, with my 10% off, yeah, I can get it for $180. With him, I get it for $179. But Lids has a limited amount, and Ben usually has a better selection. Not only that, but if you're looking for the older jerseys, he has a better selection. Lids just has whatever's brand new. NHL Shop sometimes has only what's brand new, and sometimes NHL Shop's expensive. There have been times where I've gone on there and said, "Wow, this is pricey." And sometimes where you go, oh, okay, and you put everything in your cart, and you're like, "Wait, they're charging me for shipping too?" Wow, no. So I do my best to pass along sellers to people and situations to people where they're going to get good value. And I joined. There was an advertising site that I joined today where it's sort of a shared revenue thing. So basically, if somebody buys off your site, you get a 4% or 6% or whatever you get. I'm not sure how that would work with a YouTube channel, so I haven't delved into it very much. And then I reactivated an account I had with one of those as well from 2 years ago. Because honestly, as much as I am very appreciative of Patreon, as much as I am appreciative of YouTube and the opportunity it provides, the more I can spread around the eggs I have in the baskets, the more revenue streams I potentially have, the less I have to worry about any one disappearing. I know when I got that message last week from Patreon, like, these are bad levels, I thought, holy crap, they could shut everything down. They could just shut my Patreon right down, and I'd be screwed. So I've been very on edge since then, and I've let them know that I unpublished those levels, and that I let you guys know that we can't do official giveaways anymore. Which is just, yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyways, it's one of those things where I can figure something else out that's not. Anyways, there are other ways to figure it around it, and I'm figuring out ways around it. And of course, for people who have signed up at the $15 level, and me talking about doing podcasts with that, I think it's a very good idea, and I'm very glad that Adam suggested it, because I think, the round table discussions I think are fun to have, but I would like to have them with fans of the channel as well. I know we've had good discussions at some of the meetups, and I was going to record at the last meetup, and then I didn't. I was like, nah, forget it. Because I wonder if people get a little more on edge, and maybe they don't say things that they would otherwise, because they're like, oh, well, he's recording, so I have to watch what I say. So there's that. At least in that situation, people would know that I was recording. But I wanted you guys to know, just, yeah, it gets difficult sometimes. I mean, if we had a bigger place, then I could just have a trunk, something that I can take jerseys that I don't, like, for instance, I'll use this one as a for instance. My Ryan Miller from the Canucks. I'm very proud I got this Ryan Miller. I'm very proud I got this. I got this one through Lids, medium. I got it for dirt cheap compared to the original price. I'm very glad I have it. And I don't know how often I would wear it. And when I'm sure people would say, well, why would you buy it then? Because at some point, Ryan Miller's going to retire. At some point, I may be very, very happy I have this. And not only that, but I can do a career retrospective on Miller. And I've got a Miller jersey in Buffalo, St. Louis, and Vancouver. All I'm missing is Anaheim. So that's fun. And it means that when the day comes that he retires, I can do a video where I wear the jerseys and just pause for each part of his career. And I think that would be a lot of fun. As short as the St. Louis part of that video would be, I still think that would be a ton of fun. So yeah, and I know, and I apologize to Zach, because Zach's like, when you decide to reorganize, let me know, because I'm running into a problem. I'll let you know when I figure out a way out of this problem. Because again, I want all of my Adidas here, because I think it makes a nice row here. They all have the dimpled shoulder. Reebok Authentics ideally would be here, and the teams that haven't changed their jersey much from Reebok to Adidas, like this Anaheim here, they haven't really made any big changes. So I can have them all here for videos. And then I wanted to have throwbacks and the classics on this one. Like I've got the Washington Capitals Winter Classic in here. I've got some old Oilers in here. And yeah, you know, like old throwbacks to old Toronto. Quebec Nordiques is in here. Oakland Seals. But there's not enough room. And it is that dilemma that, you know, honestly, I would put it on pause until we got a bigger place. But what I've also learned over the last 3 years especially is, you see a jersey online and you're like, you know what? I kind of want that. But I'm going to wait. Once that jersey sells out, it's gone. The CCMs that are out there right now, they're gone. So once they've sold out, and I have people message me and say, where can I get this CCM? I've seen you wore that sweet jersey in that video. Where can I find it? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm serious. I have no idea, because once jerseys sell out, they're just gone. And not only that, but sometimes when they do the reproductions, I don't know if I've got it in here or not, but my white Hartford Whalers jersey, the logo is this same smooth fabric. So it's really bendy and it doesn't feel as strong. Some of the CCM classics aren't very well done in terms of the logo and the overall. Like, I've got both of the Buffalo throwbacks that way, the white one and the blue one, the original design. Same thing. The logo is just kind of cheaply done. So, you know, it's one of those things that when I'm you know, posing for videos and talking to you guys in videos, yeah, I could do that. But to go out in public, it's just, it looks cheaper to me. And there are jerseys that are like that. But yeah, it's been interesting doing the collection, because again, if I hold off and I say, well, I'm going to hold off for 6 months, and then there's the other part of it. So I hold off. And then I wait until we get a bigger place and we move. Well, what if that bigger place is expensive to the point where I can't do this anymore? I can't buy jerseys, which is fine. But what if I'm already kicking myself for ones I didn't buy that are gone, and now I can't? So I'm looking ahead, and I'm, you know, because I even remember back to the early 90s and the wall of jerseys they had back then, and I think about jerseys that I could have had back then and the ones I bought instead. And I kind of kick myself for the ones I bought instead, where I'm like, man, you could have had that jersey and you didn't buy it? Really? So, you know, that's why there's still ones coming in. I know I have the Purple Kings coming. I'm so excited about the Purple Kings with the shield on the front. That one's fantastic. And I intend to buy at least 3 or 4 more of the thirds. And I want to get them early, because let's be honest, it is part of what makes the channel unique, is that people tune into a video, they'll see the brand new Carolina third, and they'll go, wow, he's got that already. Yeah. Because if you're the first one to get all this stuff, it's an attention grabber. So, you know, and for me, like I mentioned about this one, when I wore this for you guys the first day I got it, and I love this jersey so much. This white San Jose jersey is absolutely spot on perfect. And yet it's not in the top 20. But you know, it's just the quality and knowing that I got this, so I don't have to worry about it later. I worry a lot. I tend to have really elaborate dreams, and my elaborate dreams will normally involve my numerous paranoias. I often have dreams that I'm late for school. Yeah, I have dreams I'm late for school. I missed it, and I'm like, it's exam day, and I haven't gone to school for 3 months, and I walk in there like, it's exam day. I'm like, I haven't been here for 3 months. I don't know why I have that dream. I graduated. I have my grade 12. Or I have dreams that I'm at work, and I'm thinking about the channel, and I want to quit my job, but I don't want to let them down, and I'm scared that if I quit my job, I don't know how the channel's going to do. I have that dream at least twice a week, where I'm at my job, and it's usually a combination of all of my old jobs, and I'm terrified. I'm genuinely terrified. Sometimes I just wake up in a panic, and I think, oh, what am I going to do? And it's like, okay, Shannon, you quit that job over a year ago. You already made that decision. You're good. And I don't have that dream about the most recent job I had, because I only worked 2 or 3 days a week there. It wasn't... I didn't make a lot of friends at that job, whereas my previous jobs, I was there for years. I made friends. I had people I'd known for, almost a decade at my last job. And it was a comfort zone. There was a comfort to it. I'm sure there are a lot of people who work jobs. You work a job you may not like, but you're comfortable. You know it'll pay the bills. You know it's going to be there tomorrow. You might hate it. You might hate your boss, but it's there, and it's a comfort thing. And I'm not a big fan of change, which is also part of the reason why we're still here. Because there's that other fear that you move, you get into a bigger place, and what if something happens and you can't afford it anymore? And you can't go back to the old place. And if I had the time to describe every paranoid fear that I have daily, we don't have the time. We don't. And today, when I opened up the package from Ben and those jerseys were added to the collection, it just gives me this feeling of pride. It feels like, when I'm doing videos all day, every day, and I'm struggling to come up with ideas, and I'm doing all my boards, I'm going crazy. That moment of an unboxing, it all goes away, and I'm like, all right, this was kind of my reward for the month for, getting up in the middle of the night or staying up all night doing whatever I was doing to produce content for you guys during the summer, whatever it is. And it's sort of like I say, okay, that's my thing, and then I make sure everything's paid for. I make sure we got food in the house. I make sure we got everything we need. There's nothing that's being taken from the family in order to make sure that I can make purchases. I'm very, very careful with money. I've always been good with money. One point of pride I have in the last 4.5 years is I've never been broke. There was a period where I was nervous about money, but I never got down to zero. I instituted overdraft on my account about 6 years ago. And I think when I became suddenly single 4.5 years ago, I went into it twice. But it was strategic. It was usually the day before I got paid. I'm like, all right, I'll eat into the overdraft. I need to get something to eat. But it honestly wasn't a big deal, and I don't go anywhere near it now. If they took away my overdraft, I would never know. So, I'm very careful, and it's been an interesting ride. Because I really, before this channel blew up, I had no idea that life was going to get better. I didn't believe in it either. So if you're going through a rough patch yourself, understandable. And I've had people tell me, oh, I'm really sorry this month I can't be a patron because, I've got stuff going on. Yeah, that's fine. You never need to explain or apologize. When I ran a wrestling website 15 years ago, I would get people coming and going, gee, I'd really like to be a part of this right now, but there's this stuff going on with my family, and I can't do this. And I always said, real life comes first. So that was my motto. I said it all the time because there were other wrestling-themed websites that didn't feel that way. Like, I'd see some guy getting dicked around, and I'm like, why is he getting dicked around? They're like, well, he's been really flaky lately. And I'm like, he's going through a divorce. What the hell? So I would message him and go, you're getting dicked around here. Why don't you come over and try my site for a couple of weeks? And he'd be like, well, I don't know if I can. And I'd be like, just give it a shot. And usually I won them over. So I do my best to be as fair to everybody as possible because, yeah, life comes up, things happen, and, I don't expect anything from anybody. Which is why it's weird that then I expect that people who support me on Patreon want something from me. Even though there's a lot of people who said, oh, you don't need... But again, I feel like I have to. So there you go. You got about 18 minutes of rambling out of me. Congratulations. And hopefully you got your money's worth today. So there you go. If anybody has any suggestions on if you were in my situation with jerseys, how you'd figure it out, because there's no room upstairs for me to put things. I am getting rid of them as I get new ones. So for anybody who's wondering about that too, like, well, it keeps getting them, where's putting them? I am getting rid of them as I get new ones. There are old ones that I can get rid of. There are jerseys that I replace with Adidas that I can get rid of. The old ones. So there you go. thank you guys so much for all your support. I don't have to ask you to like and subscribe because you already have, and I'm very thankful for that as well. I'll talk to you again soon.